गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। हम पढ़ रहे हैं एनसीईआरटी क्लास 8 की मैथ बुक का चैप्टर नंबर 1 स्क्वायर एंड क्यूब। आज है 4 जुलाई 2026 और आज का हमारा टॉपिक है स्क्वायर रूट्स। तो हम पढ़ेंगे स्क्वायर रूट्स के बारे में। अब तक हमने पढ़ा स्क्वायर ऑफ 2 is 4. When 2 is squared, your result is 4. When 3 is squared, your result is 9. ठीक है, तो इसको हम कैसे रीड करते हैं कि 4 is square of 2, 4 is square of 2, 9 is square of 3. Then what is square root? See, here it is 4, here it is 2. How they are related? How 4 is related to 2? 4 is square of 2. Understood? Now how 2 is related to 4? 2 is related to 4 means 2 is the square root. 2 is square root of 4. In this way, these two numbers are interrelated. The same way, 9 and 3. How 9 is related to 3? 9 is square of 3. And how 3 is related to 9? 3 is square root of 9. So this is our square root. Means the number which when multiplied by itself gives the perfect square, the number itself is the square root of that perfect square. Understood? Means if we have natural number n and when we multiply this number by n, we get a number which is n square. Then suppose this number comes out as m, then n is the square root of m. N is square root of m. Understood? This is the way how m and n are related. Now you have noticed that here is small s. In your book you will also notice that square roots. Why it is called roots? Why not root? Why it is not singular? Why it is plural? We'll understand this fact why it is plural. See, we say 4 is the square of 2. Means we'll get 2 by multiplying 2 multiplied by 2 will get 4. Now do we have any another integer which give the result of 4 and when it is multiplied by itself? Let's think. See, now you can multiply minus 2 into minus 2. What result you will get? You will get 4. You will get 4. What does it mean? What does it mean? What we have studied, when a number is multiplied by itself, the outcome will become the perfect square and the number will become the square root of that number. And this situation satisfies our definition. What does that mean? This means that minus 2 is also square root of 4. Understood? So we have two square roots, minus 2 and 2. We have 2 square roots. What does it means? Four is the square of minus 2 and 2. 4 is the square of minus 2 and 2, and minus 2 and 2 are the square roots of 4. That's why we have written here S, means for any square or for any perfect square you have 2 square roots. In case of 9 you have plus 3 and minus 3 as a square root. In case of 16 you have plus 4 and minus 4 as your square roots. In case of 25 you have plus 5 and minus 5 as your square roots. It means, again I am repeating, for a perfect square we have always 2 square roots. We have always 2 square roots. That's why your topic is square roots. Now let's generalize this. Suppose n is the number. How will you obtain its square? Multiplying by n. What you will get? N square. Understood? N square. And there is one more number, minus n, multiplied by minus n, and you get n square. And the result is, say the n square is the result is m. So square roots of m are plus n and minus n. We write it as in generalized way that plus minus n. In this way we can understand. Now let's talk about the symbol of square root. Now this is the symbol of square root. This is the symbol of square root, and actually when we are writing here 2, this means this is the symbol of square root. This means this is the symbol of square root. Understood? This is the symbol of square root, and sometimes when your symbol is simply this, then it is understood that 2 is written here and this is the symbol of square root. Means you have to, whatever the number is inside this symbol, you have to find the square root of that number. Say if it is written here 64, it means you have to find out the square root of 4, square root of 64, which will come as plus minus 8. Why I have written plus minus 8? Because it has 2 square roots, 8 and minus 8. Understood? So in generalized way we say, now we can also say this 64 is what? This 64 is 8 square. Then 8 square, we get the square root 8 and minus 8. Understood? In generalized way what we write? N square is a perfect square. You have applied this square root symbol, then your result will be plus n and minus n, that is plus minus n. You have to remember this relation. N square is plus minus n. Understood? Now we will see how to find out the square root of a perfect square. We will see whether the given number is a perfect square and how to find out the perfect square. Suppose it is given that we have 25. First of all, you have to identify whether this number is a perfect square or not. How will you identify? Our first method was to identify the number was unit place method. Unit place method. What was that? That 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. If these numbers are coming in your unit place, then it may be a perfect square. But if 2, 3, 7 and 8, these numbers are coming at unit place, then the number is definitely not a perfect square. Understood? So we can identify the particular number whether it is a perfect square or not. We see it is given here 25. We can see 5 is at unit place. 5 is at unit place, means 25 may be a perfect square. 25 may be a perfect square. You cannot always sure that 5 is at unit place and the number is perfect square. Understood? You can take the example of 15. Here 5 is at unit place, 35. 5 is at unit place, but these numbers are not perfect square. But it is very sure that if unit place is 2, 3, 7, 8, it is definitely not a perfect square. If it is written as 38, means 8 is here, it is definitely not a perfect square. If it is written as 32, then 2 is definitely not a perfect square. If it is written as, say, 73, means 3 is at the unit place, this number is definitely not a perfect square. Any bigger number you can write, any bigger number. Say if you write 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, 2, then 2 is at unit place, this number is not a perfect square. Understood? 2 is not a perfect square. Then say the number is 36. So what was our method of identifying the perfect square by using the unit place method? Number 1 was we have to check 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 9. Then it is a perfect square. If it is 2, 3, 7, 8, in this case, it is not a perfect square. Understood? Then second was what? Second method was if the number has unit place 4 and 6. If the number has unit place 4 and 6, then 6 is the unit place of the perfect square number. Understood? It means ये 36 के यूनिट प्लेस में हमारा 6 है. ठीक है? If this number is a perfect square, तो डेफिनेटली जो इसका स्क्वायर रूट होगा उसके यूनिट प्लेस में 4 और 6 होगा. अंडरस्टूड? इफ दिस नंबर इज अ परफेक्ट स्क्वायर, तो डेफिनेटली उस जो इसका स्क्वायर रूट होगा उसके यूनिट प्लेस पे आइदर 4 और 6 होगा. सिंस वी नो द आंसर, देन it is 6. This is a way to identify the square root. What is the third method? Third method is that third unit place method is that if 1 or 9 is at unit place, then your perfect square's unit place is definitely 1. As we have seen the example, let's see. 121 and 361. What is the square root of 121 and what is the square root of 361? 11 and minus 11. In this case, 19 and minus 19. What you can see? अगर आपका परफेक्ट स्क्वायर के एंड में 1 है, if this number is definitely a perfect square, if this number is definitely a perfect square, then जो इसका स्क्वायर रूट होगा उसके यूनिट प्लेस में आइदर 1 हो सकता है या फिर 9 हो सकता है. ठीक है, अगर परफेक्ट स्क्वायर के यूनिट प्लेस पे 1 है तो उसके स्क्वायर रूट के यूनिट प्लेस पे आइदर 1 हो सकता है, आइदर 9 हो सकता है, एंड which one is correct, that we have to find out. So these three methods which you can use to find out the perfect square root by just watching the unit place of the perfect square. Understood? Now what was the second method to find the perfect whether the particular number is perfect square or not? The second method was sum of successive odd numbers. The second method was sum of successive odd numbers. Like when we have written here 25. Now you have to find out whether this number is perfect square or not. What you will do? We will apply the method sum of successive odd numbers method, and we have to subtract the successive odd numbers starting from 1. Then we subtract minus 1. We'll get 24. Understood? Then minus 3 we'll get 21. Then minus 5 we get 16. Then 16 minus, which is the next odd number, 7, we get 9. Then minus 9 we get 0. It means 25 is a perfect square. 25 is a perfect square. Understood? And how and which number is the square root of that number? You have to find out how many successive odd numbers you have used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have used 5 successive odd numbers. It means 5 is the square root of 25. Understood? Now you cannot apply these methods to find out the square root if the number is very large. Understood? You cannot apply these methods to find out the square roots if the number is very large. Say if the number is 1, 1, 5, 6. Only you can ensure that 6 is written here, then it means the square root of this number is definitely having 4 or 6 at its unit place, but exactly you cannot find out the square root. How will you find out the square root of this number and the numbers which are like this? It means the larger numbers. For this we have the next method to find out the square root. What is that method? Prime factor methods. What is that method? Prime factor method. What do you understand by the prime factor? We have to identify the prime factor of these numbers and we have to make the pairs. हमें prime factors के जोड़े बनाने होंगे और जो prime factors के जोड़े बन जाएंगे उसमें से एक एक नंबर को लेके जो हमारा रिजल्ट आएगा, that will be the square root of this particular number. How will you do this? The method is prime factor method. Prime factor method to find square root. Okay, square roots. Understood? Now this method is applied for all the perfect squares. This method is applied on all the perfect squares, whether they are small or whether they are big numbers. Now we will apply this method. What you have to do? Number one, make pairs. Make pairs of prime factor. Understood? Prime factors. Make pairs of prime factors. Then take one paired factor, one number of paired factor. Third method is multiply all these factors and you will get the result. Multiply all factors. ये जो सेकंड स्टेप में हमें जो फैक्टर्स मिले हैं उनको हम मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, विल गेट द स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ दैट नंबर. अंडरस्टूड? नंबर वन स्टेप है, हमें प्राइम फैक्टर करना है और फिर प्राइम फैक्टर्स के पेयर्स बनाने हैं. उसके बाद में हर पेयर से हमें एक एक नंबर ले लेना है और वो एक एक नंबर को हमें मल्टीप्लाई करना है, विल गेट द रिजल्ट. लेट्स विल सी द एग्जांपल. Let's see the example of 324. Let's इसके प्राइम फैक्टर्स करेंगे. प्राइम फैक्टर्स कैसे करते हैं हम? फर्स्ट नंबर है हमारा 2. 2 से हम इसको डिवाइड करेंगे. देन दिस नंबर इज अगेन डिविजिबल बाय 2. जब तक हमारे पर्टिकुलर प्राइम फैक्टर से हमारा नंबर डिवाइड होता रहता है तब तक हमें उसको उस पर्टिकुलर नंबर से ही डिवाइड करना है. Now this number is not divisible by 2. Then we'll try the next prime number. Which is the next prime number? 3. Now this number is again divisible by 3. We'll get now this number is again divisible by 3. We'll get now this number is again divisible by 3. We'll get now. We have neutralized the all numbers. Now we'll find how many pairs we have prime factors. This is one pair, this is second pair, this is third pair. How many pairs? First, second and third pair. Understood? Second, third, first. We get the 3 pairs. Let's write these pairs. What pairs we got? 324. When we have done the prime factors, we got 2 into 2. This is one pair multiplied by 3 into 3. This is another pair multiplied by 3 into 3. This is third pair. Now, what was our method? We have to find out one number from each pair. 2 into 2 में से हम एक नंबर 2 ले लेंगे. 3 into 3 में से एक नंबर हम 3 ले लेंगे. 3 into 3 में से एक नंबर हम 3 ले लेंगे और हम इसका मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. वी गेट द रिजल्ट. 2 3 6, 3 18. What we find out? 18 is the square root of 324. Understood? Likewise, we will see one more example. Say 1 1 5 6. Understood? Now let's divide this. Let's do the prime factors. Now this number is not divisible by 2, then we will try for 3, which is the next prime number. I think we have made some mistakes. One, 1, 5, 6. See. Okay. See. Now we'll see, is this number is divisible by 3? 2 plus 8, 10 plus 19. No. Is it divisible by next prime number 5? No. Is it divisible by the 7? No. Is it divisible by 11? No. Is this number is divisible by 13? Try this. No. What is the next prime number after 13? Here the next prime number is 17. Try this. Understood? Now we get this, what? 17 is the next prime number which divides 289. Now we will see how many pairs we have. 2 pairs. 2 into 2 into, this is one pair. 17 into 17, this is another pair. To find out the square root, we have to take 1, pick 1, 2 into 17, and we get the square root. This is 34. So 34 is the square root of 115. Means 1156. 1156 का अगर हम स्क्वायर रूट निकालेंगे तो 34 आएगा. Understood? So this is the method to find, prime factor method is a method to find the square root of any big number. This prime factor is a method to find the square root of any big number. Understood? So you have to practice this number on so many numbers so that you will be used to of this method, how to find out the square root of the bigger numbers. We'll practice one more. See, 1, 2, 2, 5. Let's check. Is it divisible by 2? No. Is it divisible by 3? No. Is it divisible by 5? Yes. Now, this number. Is this number is divisible by 2? No. Already we have checked 2 and 3 and 5. Now the next prime number is 7. Is this number is divisible by 7? Yes. So we got two pairs. What are these two pairs? 5 into 5, one pair, into 7 into 7, another pair. We have to take 1 1. 5 into 7, that is 35. So 35 is the square root of 1225. Now see, 1225. You can check whether this number is a perfect square or not. See, 5 is written here. It means that this number can be a perfect square. But to check, you have to do you have to check the method that successive sum of successive odd numbers, which is a very lengthy method. But when you use the prime factorization method, you will find easily the square root of this number, and this number will comes out as 35, which we have checked. Understood? Means if this number is say 1227, you will initially cross that this number is not perfect square, then you will not find out the, you will not do the prime factor method. Why? You have seen 7 is written here at a unit place, and you have already seen if 7 is the end unit place of the number, it means it is not a perfect square. These numbers, as we have checked, like 2, 3, 7 and 8, if these numbers are ending with these numbers, you need not to find out, you need not to go for further process. Understood? But if it is written here like this 1 2 7 6, means 6 is here, then you have to whether check this number. This number can be a perfect square because 6 is ending at 6 is at the unit place. This number can be a perfect square with the number ending 4 or 6 at unit place. So you have to do, you have to find out this, you have to find out by prime factorization method. And then if it is paired, if all prime factors are paired, then it is a perfect square. If any prime factor is left without a pair, then it is not a perfect square. So in this way we can find out, in this way we can find out the square root of any larger number. In today's class only this much. Thank you and take care.